Hi everyone, at the Baker Street meet tonight. Got the things, got the VIP tickets, different venue. Got old Ranjan in the back here. It's going to be great tonight. We're looking forward to the fun. We'll probably catch up with him later and get a few words from him and Andrew. Let's get ready.
Guys, we found a content creator.
Excellent. I'm all right. Nice to have you, Jamal.
Nice to meet you.
And Jamal has asked us to have a bit of chat here. We're recording in multiple areas because everyone knows we love our social media. And Baker Street, love it. If you've seen my LinkedIn post, we have had quite a few people watch us on LinkedIn, and we also create content. We require people to give us a bit of their property journey, what they're doing in property, how they're making a difference, and also how they add value.
Yes.
And we add value because people might know me from being on Sky TV and showing huge value around accountancy, tax, all the sexy side of property, and that's what we make a difference. So we'll be chatting about that. Jamal, do you do any investments yourself?
I don't, not yet.
That's got to change.
But that's why I've come here.
That's it. And this is why we're going to make a big difference, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to love this because I know you've got Kareem. Get quickly Kareem on there. He's recording as well. Don't you love this? And we're at a different venue, which I'm actually thinking is going to be great.
I've got a
Do you
question
know
for you actually.
Go on,
right?
bring it on.
I've got £5,000 in my pocket.
Yeah.
How am I starting out in property? How am I investing?
Love this. Great question. Depends on what you want to do. Which type of property
I
strategy?
want to make a lot of money.
If you want to make a lot of money, right, it depends on what deals you get into. If you go in commercial property, it's a bit more advanced. What Ranjan goes on about, this can make a huge difference because you can use that money, and if there's enough uplift, you can pull your money out. Do a commercial resi conversion, use a group structure. This is how you do from a tax perspective. This is why people come to me, like all the celebs, and save millions of pounds, including Ranjan, who we're tax advisor for. So this is what the difference maker is.
Wow.
That's how you add huge value.
Okay.
So that 5K can then become a lot of money.
Okay.
So, because you need to manage your cash flow.
Okay.
Make
so I
sense?
need to come to you first, get educated,
Exactly.
find a blueprint.
Find the blueprint, but also get the deal analysed,
Okay.
right? So when you do invest in property, you have something called a CPSC. I did a speech with loads of lawyers, so check that out. I'll put it on LinkedIn and across all our social media. Don't you love this? Can't even beat this. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. That's all right. That's all right. Love it. This is what makes the difference because this is real time. This isn't made up. Right? So we need to make sure we understand all of this, get the review done at the beginning, get the advice, get the structure. We just saved a client literally about £1 million in tax just recently on all of this because people don't know what they don't know. And it's not like going to your normal GP. Go to a specialist, you make the money. That's what it is.
Perfect.
Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does.
Love it,
Thanks for your
Jamal.
time, man.
We'll catch up later after the meet.
Sounds good, man.
Perfect. Look at this. This is the new VIP spot at Baker Street. I just told Ranjan and Andrew about this, and they know they were trying to get us some seats at the front for this. But I think this is even better. And we've got our good friend Sean, who knows about the Next Level Finance podcast.
Come on.
And so do a few other 100,000 people now.
Come on.
It's everywhere, everywhere. And this guy's on YouTube is smashing it as well, because the shorts with this guy are going to multiple thousands of views. And that's because he loves it, he's got passion. It's not just his gym pictures in Instagram that are getting people talking. Sean, how are you finding it?
Wicked, bro. I can't wait for tonight. I'm just here to learn. You got to always stay coachable, and you got to, be ready to learn. And even if it's just like that one sentence,
This guy's walking, talking content, next level, because he understands the power of social media. Let's start. Hi everyone, my name's Z Razak at Baker Street Property Meet. You know we love adding value. We got Sean, who's been on our Next Level Finance podcast. Sean,
Yes, see.
how did you find today?
Yeah, it was really informative. It's all about being around the right people first of all, other people and experts sharing their experiences, isn't it? And people doing really, different things in the market. Like, it's never been like so diverse. I don't know. I'm an old school landlord. I go and look at vanilla buy-to-lets, HMO, just do the box standard thing. But there's some really creative people out there, ain't they?
They're so talented, and it was all good. We were actually made our own special VIP section right at the back. You might have seen it with the pics, but it was so important. I was actually chatting to about Sean, and he was telling me he's looking to do a lot of amazing stuff, aren't you, Sean?
Yeah, well,
We're going to share with the family already what you're thinking about.
definitely.
What you're doing there.
Well, it's all about, we can't just do the box standard same things anymore. You can't just get one tenant and pay that mortgage and, you're hardly earning anything. The interest rates are very high, house prices are very high, so you're taking out big loans right now, and there's nothing left, no return of investment. So you're thinking, well, how can I serve the community and also get rewarded? So I'm thinking more into like, the care sort of side of things and helping young children and baby mothers and baby units. That's what I'm looking at more into, and maybe setting up a business, especially for the next 5 to 10 years, where I can dedicate my time and experience and start giving back to the community. And at the same time, they reward you for that. And who better to do it than people who know what they're doing with regulations? With HMO, you've got smoke alarms, carbon monoxide, heat alarms, fire exit, safety equipment, etc. So we know how to do diligently, look after these spaces. So we know half the job already. We just got to get the other experts and manage it properly. What do you think?
I totally agree. Sean has smashed it. I was talking to him earlier. He was asking me a tax question on it. I had to structure this. So I'll give you a tip. Great strategy, care homes. If you've got the knowledge and get the right people, it's all about structuring. I was telling him, watch my SAS London presentation about OPCO, PropCo, and that's how you save money. You can actually earn £1 million tax-free still in the UK. You don't have to go to sunny Dubai to get that, even though Dubai is quite nice to go to visit. But this is why people like Sean keep on thinking ahead, you keep on getting the right people involved, and that's what makes the difference. Sean.
Absolutely, yeah, like if you haven't got the right people around you, you're going to end up making mistakes, and then mistakes can be very hard to undo. It's like you think you're taking 10 steps ahead, and then you land yourself where you're paying an immense amount of tax, and then you have to restructure yourself and take 10 steps backwards before you go forward again. And that's not a nice place to be. If all you had to do is get the right advice, what's a little consultancy talking to somebody? It will save you thousands in the future.
Not just thousands, millions. That's the level we're talking about. But no, great, Sean. As always a pleasure.
Thank you for the time, and go and check out the Next Level podcast, because Z's a great host, and he's giving out a lot of gems and a lot of experience and sharing really good people in the industry, so why not consume that knowledge for free before you even go and pay for anything?
Do you know what? Sean is also humbling. The amount of value he added was unbelievable as well. So that was the Next Level Finance podcast, episode 1. Make sure you watch that, and also hope you enjoyed this. Like and comment. I hope you got value. Thank you so much.
Let's go.
Hi everyone. We always do our regular with one of the main men on this show, Andrew Roberts, who did a Next Level show again today, giving us a financial update in the ever-changing world. Andrew, what's the big takeaways for the audience? Please tell us.
Well, the big takeaways are, based on the data that I've just demonstrated tonight, there is a clear recession ahead. The interest rates are rising rapidly. That is making commercial property fall rapidly. So with every interest rate rise, and the interest rate rises, the 13 of them to date, have actually made, over the course of 12 months, commercial property halve in price. Now that is creating a bigger opportunity for investment in commercial property, because I don't think it's ever been so cheap. What we've got to look at is where this opportunity is.
I've got a view on that. When do you reckon the lag is going to start kicking in? Because we're not seeing it all filter through the pricing. When I see clients and we're looking around on property, it's not necessarily filtering through yet. There's normally a lag. How long do you reckon? Because it's got to happen, because it's not sustainable, because some people still think, as you guys were saying, the 6 months it'll change. When do you think they're going to say, no, we need to sell because we can't handle this, because we've got the wrong financing, the wrong proposition? When do you think that's going to actually filter through?
Well, it is filtering through right now, and deals at those lower prices are being done right now. In the last 6 weeks, I've done deals where we've got 40 to 55% off auction guide prices.
Wow.
It is happening in auctions now. Go and look at the sold results in auctions and work out the yields. All of the yields are well over 10%. This time last year, the auction houses were selling stuff at 5%. You know that because you follow the data.
Do you know what? That is expert advice from the guy that does know his stuff, and that is so important, because people come up to us always asking. That's why you need to come and visit Baker Street and hear from the experts get that knowledge update instead of wasting loads of time researching this, because you get it laid on the plate by this man.
It's the #1 property meet in the UK. 300 plus investors cannot be wrong, and you will get your finger on the pulse of where the market is now and where it's going. This isn't talking the past, this is talking the now and the future, helping you chart your trajectory. BakerStreetPropertyMeet.com.
Do you know what? And everyone knows who follows us, especially on LinkedIn, that I don't waste people's time. I wouldn't be wasting my time, especially with Eid coming up tomorrow, if this wasn't valuable. Thank you, Andrew Roberts, as always.
Thank you,
That's
Steve.
what you get on LinkedIn from us, and this is why we come here. Thank you. Hi, everyone. We've got another big heavyweight, one of the presenters today on Baker Street Meet, Safe. Safe, thank you for talking to us. I know you're probably knackered from the presentation.
Tiring.
You huge value around property trading, and it's a very different way of thinking, and some of the stuff you were doing amazing. You know, some of the land deals, some of the properties in and out.
Auction arbitrage.
Oh, you heard it here, auction arbitrage. If you want a masterclass, this is the guy, and he was giving some unbelievable nuggets, right? How long have you been doing the strategy for the LinkedIn family?
So about 7 years now, and I've been in business for about 8 years in total.
Wow, wow. You're doing quite well on that, because you're obviously getting there. I see you, we're obviously following on LinkedIn and all the different stuff you're doing. I was getting a bit of a tip, slightly differently on the tax structuring.
Yeah.
Have you used SASs yet?
No, I haven't, to be fair.
Right, something you need to be thinking about, especially your structures, because if you don't get the value, because you're creating so much value up front and that trading, by slightly doing something differently, understanding the longer term, the exit, not just the upfront acquisition, huge difference maker. Ask Ranjan how much money we saving, and that's the difference maker. And I think the what you're doing is very different, because it's a trading business, right? Very different to property
So you've
investment.
got corporation tax to think about, whereas property investment, you don't have to think about corporation tax as much.
It depends on what you're doing, and it depends how you structure it. But what you're having is you can take advantage of some reliefs that you can't when you're a property investor. So I've done a few episodes on Sky TV, I don't know if you've seen them, talking about this. When you're a property developer or trader, when you're doing a trading business, you have certain stuff like substantial share exemption. Check the Coffee with Z, which I was talking about that. You also got business asset disposal relief, bit of a tongue twister, entrepreneurs relief. You also got something many people don't use, investors relief. These are the things that you can use. Also, your stamp duty can be very different depending who you're buying from and why you're buying. And I'm not even talking about commercial resi, because me and Ranja talked hours about that. These are the difference, and I think what you're doing, amazing.
So here's one tip for everyone. So people don't know about how much stamp duty property traders specifically can save. But to give you an example, if someone is going to be selling their property to buy new build property, i.e. what we call in the industry basically a part exchange, if we are buying that second-hand property from them to sell on, to trade on, we don't pay stamp duty on that property, as an example. So there's so many exemptions for stamp duty for property traders that people don't really even know about.
If that's probate.
Yeah.
So if it's probate, what he's saying is valid true, because if you're a trader, you can get probate exemptions on stamp duty, land tax. We're specialised in stamp duty, and that's one of the areas. If you're an investor, you don't get that because you're holding on to the property. It's a different use. So getting your SDLT up front. I also noticed that you did a property that hasn't been used, a derelict property. How big is that? There's some complicated rules where if you use that properly, you don't pay the normal rates, you pay commercial rates. And people make that mix up and say it's no stamp duty. If it's over 150, there is stamp duty. And this is what you've got to do. This is the difference. We've got Andrew Roberts coming here as well. And this is why I love coming to Baker Street, because we get people like Safe who are top of their profession. They're adding huge value. So if anyone hasn't watched it, connect with Ranjan, get the episode, because he added huge value. Safe, you are the man. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Hi everyone, we added huge value today. We've just had Andrew Roberts and a number of other people Safe on here, and now we've got Sam. And Sam, you messaged me as well beforehand to say, Zim, we meet up here at Baker Street Property Meet.
That's it.
And Sam, what did you want to mention? Because I know you're into property, you're doing a lot of crazy stuff, so as in good way, please tell us a bit what you're doing for the LinkedIn family.
So I'm with Z, and it's nice to have him here today at London's biggest property meet, the Baker Street Property. Yeah, so my property journey I wanted to speak to Z about. I've known Z for a very long time, and he's a fantastic man when it comes to the science behind tax and innovation. But I won't butter him up too much because I'm going to give him some tough questions later on. So from residential, I went into commercial property. And some of the projects that I've done have been between 2 to 20,000 square foot property projects.
Wow, big.
From office to residential and multi-use commercial to residential.
Love
so,
it.
and in effect, what that basically is, one of my recent projects was on the HS2 in Nottingham. It was basically a 12,500 square foot building, retail on the bottom. One of the tenants was a bank and the other one was a restaurant. 2 floors on the top, and they were offices that the tenant left, and I was left with empty offices. So obviously the PDR rights kicked in, and I turned them into residential apartments.
Wow.
So that's just the basis of an overall picture of what I've done there. So the question
Love
I wanted to ask Z,
Go on,
my
go on.
good friend, was that it's all under the umbrella of a limited company. And limited companies can be very, very good to use when you're investing or you're building and you're doing commercial property. But Z, what is the implications and on stamp duty and tax on property when it comes to doing it through a limited company?
So it depends on what you're doing. So we're doing a commercial to resi conversion. Got Andrew Roberts, this guy everywhere, love it. And well, it depends on how you structure this.
Yep.
So if we basically, he's not taking stuff that doesn't belong to him, trust me. If you're doing, if we're doing commercial resi conversions, what Sam is talking about, you've got to think about group structures. I've done a video on Sky on this, so really look at that. We do a lot of business guides. I even answered a coffee with Z recently on this. So if we use his example just now, where you had commercial property, you have a parent company, a subsidiary, the subsidiary buys it, there's stamp duty, land tax implications, VAT, capital allowances, and potentially corporation tax and inheritance tax, a lot of taxes there. And then you restructure it, because when you do a group transfer, which is what he would have done to make sure, because it may have been that it was opted to tax, assume VAT.
Absolutely right.
So you've got to
stop me there for a second.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, and you're quite right. It was done on an SBV, which is a special purpose vehicle, because the lender, they wanted to use that as an exit, because we split the title from the residential to the commercial. Even though it was all still freehold, but they wanted it done specifically on a special purpose vehicle.
Absolutely, really good point. So normally from a legal perspective, not just a tax perspective, when you buy a freehold and you do this split, which is really common and add huge value, you've got to split the freehold and then create leaseholds.
Absolutely
And this
right.
gives you opportunities. There's so many different opportunities. I'm going to just blurt out a couple of opportunities. As I was saying, having a parent company, subsidiary, that's the correct way. Subsidiary A buys the commercial property before it converts, i.e. the freehold. Then you do a split, you whack in subsidiary B, do leases for the residential element, because VAT is a big issue here. Right, then you can actually take a step further. If you're keeping the commercial and you're not, you can either leave it with the freehold, or if you're smart, you can split it again and put that freehold into a SAS pension, or depending on capital allowances, keep it. So there's so many different ways. I know I've skimmed through those. Getting good advice on your situation will literally save you hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Was that useful, Sam?
That's fantastic. Thank you, Z,
Love
once
it.
again.
Thank you.
It's lovely meeting you again.
Perfect.
Thank
Don't
you.
you love it? Hi, everyone. We have come to the end of Baker Street Property Meet in June. It's been amazing. The amount of content that you must have enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up, like and comment below. We're finishing our Baker Street Meet for the June episode, and hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes with all the classy people we've had and added huge value to your property journey. Thank you so much. Love it.
Sorry? Thumbnail face. Thumbnail face.
That killed it last time. Love it. Love it.